Okay, let's move on before my head explodes.
So this one, we won't go super in depth with all these. This is kind of just a quick roundup of some notable things that I've noticed and
The
that happened.
fastest 3 minutes in MLS.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
So
there's already a name of that, so we'll think of
yeah,
a better name for it. But
yeah. So the first one, I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but Brandon Aaronson looks like he's officially going to RB Salzburg.
yep,
Medical completed. They're just waiting on official confirmation. He'll finish the season out with Philadelphia and then make the move in the January window. I can't think of a better place to make that jump from MLS to Europe. He's playing under Jesse Marsh, knows the league, knows how to get the best out of young American kids. It's a team where you're kind of expected to win the Austrian league every year. So, that high level demand will be good for him. And, I wish him all the best.
I don't know why you think he's going to have a lot of high demand in Europe. He's getting loaned back to RBNY anyway.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Man, that'd be scenes if we poach him and just loan him back for the rest of the year. Oh, I'd love my life. But not as much as I would love life if Benny gets an extension.
So I put this one in specifically for Andrew, also because we can't not talk about it. But DC United, I mean, they were already losing at this point, but just trying to cheat the system. So they tried to sub on Russell Canal against Atlanta. However, he wasn't on the team sheet. So, you can't do that. No one noticed. He played about 10, 11 minutes before someone was like, hello? He's not supposed to be on the field right now. The ref.
Where'd they get that guy from?
Yeah.
What happens if he would have, scored a goal?
So that was the whole big issue. So when they realized that he wasn't supposed to be on the field, he obviously had to get subbed off. And then there was a big delay on whether or not the substitution would count. What did they do? The ref was basically on Twitter on his went over to the sideline, took his phone out, and was checking the team sheet on his phone to double check that he wasn't on the roster. And
that's peak MLS, man.
Yeah. And because he wasn't on the roster when he got subbed off, wasn't allowed to be on the bench, so they made him go to the locker room for the rest of the game.
That's so peak. I wonder what would have happened, if he scored a goal or got a red card or something. What would have happened?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was a funny moment because DC just trying to do things that you can't do.
God, we love Ben Olsen, man. We love Ben Olsen bringing players who he didn't put on a team sheet. I wonder if it was one of those things where he just forgot to put his name down, or if he just Canals just got on the bus and he was just like, "Is everybody here?" And it was like, "Yeah, we're here, coach." Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I think it was some sort of error because I don't think Ben Olsen realized he wasn't on the team sheet.
So he just forgot to write him down.
He said afterwards, he's like, "I obviously wouldn't have put him on had I known that."
Don't they have a printed roster where they just have everybody's name on there and then they can just check here are my starting 11, here's my 8 on the bench or whatever, or 7 on the bench or however many they're allowed to have?
I mean, yeah, but I also don't think it's when we coach and the referee lines up everybody and checks their shin guards and
shin guards.
I don't think the MLS does player passes.
Oh, that's wild. That's absolutely wild. Ben Olsen, you and your tactics never die.
Mm-hmm.
Stay around forever.
Yeah.
Stay around forever. We are indebted to them.
Yeah, just another quick one. So 2020 sucks. Luis Robles is probably out for the season now. Suffered an arm fracture in their game against NYC. I mean, the Inter are a mess to begin with, and now that they've not only lost their starting goalkeeper, but their captain as well isn't a positive. It's not going to help them start picking up wins that they kind of desperately need. There are enough big players around that will wear the armband in his absence, but because of how well Robles knows the league, because he's their original, he's their actual captain, I can't help but wonder how big of an impact this is going to be. I mean, I'd say they're just going to lose games now, but that's what we've been doing anyway. So I don't know how it gets worse from there. So Luis, if you're listening, we wish you speedy recovery.
This is how it gets worse.
Yeah.
This is how it gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Luis, if you're listening, we wish you speedy recovery. Hope to see you back soon.
Yep. We as much as it hurts to see you not playing at the best or with the best teams, we love seeing you out there. It's just gonna be a shame when we're not out there, when we're not seeing that anymore. So rest up soon, my man. Rest up soon.
Yep. And finally, so we spoke about this on the last episode, but Sergino Dest decided to play for Barca now, which, I understand. Signed over the last couple weeks, left Ajax, and probably is going to be their starter in a couple weeks. Made his debut coming on in the last 15 or so minutes in their draw against Sevilla. Looked pretty solid. I mean, it's hard to impress in a brief cameo like that, but he made history. He's the first American to feature in an official game for Barcelona, so congrats. But I also want to point out that, and it's not just him, and I don't mean it to sound like I'm picking on Serginho, but for the love of God, when clubs do player unveilings in front of people, don't have them juggle. Players forget how to do that, apparently.
So dumb. I don't get it. But it's less about them not being able to juggle and more about how much people care.
Mm.
Everybody's like, oh, my God, I can't believe we just signed this guy and he can't even juggle. It's yeah, you're not paying him $30 million to juggle a ball up the sideline. You're paying him to stick tackles and get up the wing and serve a ball in. That's all you're doing.
Right.
So relax. And then nobody looked at the clip before that where he did this random chip up off the thigh, flick over the top. It was something straight out of a Neymar play. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not he's not the first one. He won't be the last one to be unveiled, walk onto the new camp pitch and pretend to juggle and take 17 attempts to get 3 juggles in.
Yeah.
I remember when Ousmane Dembele came, he was terrible, and there were actually people watching him. I mean, I don't know how many people were in the stadium when Dest was doing it, but it happens.
And stop. That is the fastest 7 minutes, 8 seconds, and 77 milliseconds in MLS.
Nice.
That's a new title of this segment.